we were doing scenes from bad 80s sitcom when they introduced the cast of characters. So that's why we all did those, and we are cracking up here.
I'm sure they are cracking up. So they're playing around, putting out these little viral or social media posts where the images in the video that we're getting from NASA are an absolute failure. And this is across the board. Even people who still believe in the AI, well, it's a some of it's AI, but believe in the NASA psyops law. Guys, it's just a bloodbath. And I tell you, you know things are fake when it's the mainstream media, how they're pushing this. Anything that the media is pushing or talking about, you can guarantee that that is propaganda. Like that alone. And in the usual shields who are kind of, podcasters and different people who, whatever the government says, no matter who's in the government, they're going to be putting out this propaganda. And this, guys, this is how you know, along with all the other things that I've shown you, but this is interesting. All right. This is the moon ritual involving Freemasons, skull and bones, and more. So hopefully you can see it on the screen, guys. These it's as big as I can make it and fit everything on here. But hopefully you get the idea of what's going on in this. 322 is the skull and bones number 33, which you will see everywhere when there's a psyop, even with Minneapolis, with her name, Renee Good and Alex Preddy, which no one's talking about anymore, but there were 33s all over that, as well as other things that let me know that that was a psyop. I even saw like AI hands, just digging into it. And so I'm not running with everything that comes out, but I played this video, or I showed you the picture of this guy's tattoo, which Grok tried to say this was a wolf. That's what he said. Then the guy is searching up Baal. See what Baal looks like. Could be an interpretation of that or just a straight up demon. Then the Blue Origin crew. And I told you, if you look at NASA, if you look at any of these patches and things that they use, you will find occult symbolism in all of them. All of them. Just straight out ram's head right there. Look at that. Goat head. There. Turn it upside down. That's what you get. Look. I mean, could this be any more clear? And some people say, well, that's just a coincidence. No, it's not. This happens so much. Now, this is another thing, these four baskets that were being lowered as the rocket took off. They're saying that the astronauts are in there. That could be a possibility. I don't think they're in there at all. I think it's just a missile that goes into the ocean. We don't have any footage of them actually going in there. It's just it's all cut up garbage. Like they'll show like a widescreen and then they'll show us footage of something else and then something else. There's never a continuous live stream. And that's why people are pretty angry right now because while they're playing games, fixing the toilet, showing, I mean, that woman, she's constantly fixing the toilet. And the other guy's exercising, they're playing with this little plushie. It's just weird. It's just weird. So instead of us getting we spend billions of dollars, almost $70 million a day on NASA, and they can't give us a continuous shot. And even shots, guys, no matter where I look, every shot of this rocket, right, taking off, it cuts off before you can see the ending. And this is supposedly even footage from, just regular people who are uploading it. I don't believe it's regular people uploading most of it because the way they cut it off, they don't do a continuous shot. There's always a jump in it and then it just cuts off before we see where the rocket turns because it goes up and then curves down, right? And most of us believe it goes into the Bermuda Ocean. I mean the Bermuda Triangle. See, there's the trajectory. But they cut it off before you could see that. And you would think with everyone questioning NASA and all the conspiracy theories that are out there that they would want to show and, triple down, quadruple down and show every single thing. But no, even people who are not conspiracy theorists, they're frustrated because it's a bust. But then it's shown, I showed you guys this before. If you noticed, this is the Google Gmail logo. And then the apron, kind of like this sashes that they wear. We showed that the other day, that are the Freemasons. And I told you as well, oh, this is a coin that has the Freemason logo on there. And then there's a rocket. And then that's Buzz Aldrin, right? And I told you he brought a Freemason flag on the moon landing, the fake moon landing. He actually brought an entire flag, but then he wears this Freemason ring. All right, and then 322 feet tall. There, I did a breakdown of all the 322s, the skull and bones symbolism throughout this entire thing that they've shown us. But let's keep going. Now, you guys enjoy this, right? You guys enjoy these NASA bloopers that I've played before, but here's some more for good measure. In case you have never seen these, it's comical. It's absolute comedy.
Sometimes something a little different happens.
Whoops, I'll get it.
Sometimes.
So this clip is someone pushing former President George Bush through a NASA site. When you look behind, you see, what is that? And something green floating, almost looks like a studio green with studio blue. Oh, this is the finished product, and that's supposed to be the water. And speaking of which, here's someone doing a pretty poor job of editing a very similar shot. That's how water works.
With there were very few.
Steve, you're in the shot, Steve.
Vibrations of any sort.
Get out the shot.
There were very few.
Larry, we gotta fire Steve again.
Vibrations of any sort.
His crew attempted a spacewalk outside the station. Here's a live look at the astronauts.
Whoops.
Well, I don't believe. I don't think that. Yeah.
Where's your face thing?
And did you know that in space, your head can disappear for a few seconds? Wow, how did he do that? That's amazing. I didn't know astronauts were also magicians. Oh my gosh, you guys, look how everything is floating. Look at that. Oh, except the water. Don't look at that. And I don't know what this guy's holding, but it is super heavy. Look, he almost drops it in space and it goes straight down. Oh my gosh, it's so heavy. Larry, how's it going up there? Yeah, you got that tuna can I sent you? Great. Oh my God, Larry, what happened? Larry, we lost you. Well, we have your head, but not your body. Larry.
And I told you, it's not just NASA, guys. It's all the space agencies around the world, every government. They're all in on it. They're all in on it. They're in on it when it comes to space and also Antarctica. Countries can't agree on anything, but somehow every government has agreed on both of those. Why is that? Why is that? And we know why. They don't want us to know the truth. They don't want us to know that we live under a firmament, as the Bible says, and that every civilization up until NASA came along, including our own encyclopedias, said that we live under a firmament and that the earth was fixed and immovable. So they decided, no, we came from monkeys. It was a big bang and we came from monkeys and we're spinning ball through space and there's nothing out there. It's a great void. All of that is so that people do not realize that they are special, that God created them with a purpose, that he is looking down on us. And as the Bible says, that the entire world is in his hand. It is fixed and immovable. We're not just, evolved from chimps and there's no purpose for our life, right? That is just not true. But that is the reason people always ask, well, why would they do that? Because they want to hide the truth about God. They want to control every level of your thinking, of your being. They want to control you. And I don't think people realize how psychopathic it is. Like the levels that they will go to creating this. And there's a lot more that goes into this, guys, that they have hidden from us. I can go on and on. But I always tell people this is, you don't trust the government with anything. And this is the same government that gave us the Epstein files, but yet you trust them with NASA. Okay. And guys, this is every administration. This is the entire government up and down. That's why I say I trust no one in government because they all know this from the lowest to the high. They know the truth. And it's just, why aren't they telling us? Even our history, how we were founded, the proof of giants and giant beings and giant animals all over the world. We'll do a video about it. I've done it before, but it's just mind blowing. And just how they lie about how they invented how we invented electricity. It does not make sense. And I've told you the story of how the television was invented. Maybe I should just do a full video breakdown. It is so ridiculous. And every time you look back at anything they're talking about, we invented, it doesn't make sense because they found the technology. The technology was given to them, which we know from the book of Enoch. Right, the 200 fallen watchers, those angels in the book of Enoch, is referenced in the Bible. But of course, they had to take it out because it didn't fit canon with King James and all of that. Guys. So the truth is in there, but the fallen angels taught man technology, taught them about weapons, beauty, taught us everything, even abortion. This is what the book of Enoch says. But this is what I put. I put, child, they done the math. And I put two does, guys. I was struggling. The trajectory of Artemis 2 lands in the Bermuda Triangle. NASA, not a space agency, is a complete psyop clown show. And remember, you can't spell Satan without NASA and T minus. So this is what I want you to see. Let me make this a little bigger. So people have done the math and show that the trajectory, not just of this space rocket, but all of them, including SpaceX, they all curve. They all curve down. They'll say it's because it's the curve of the Earth, and they're gonna circle the Earth, and that's how they get up the trajectory to get out into outer. It makes no. They make up things, and people just buy into it. But there's no footage of this. They just say it, and people believe it. But they don't want you to believe what you see with your eyes and ears. They don't want you to believe your eyes, right? They don't want you to believe what you hear. They don't want that. And the programming is so strong. That is where most people are. The veil is still over their eyes. The deception is still there. And if you try to, show them truth, well, I mean, it's like full out cult warfare. Like they will defend NASA, defend the government with their lives. Like it is just insane. They'll call you retarded. They'll say you're dumb, say you're low IQ. And that's what they do. They just throw out names. That's how I know as well. Like all you can do is throw out names. But let's continue. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the music because I don't know if that's copyrighted at this point. But look, it's just falling back down, guys. It's falling back down towards the ocean. But you see, every video that we can get, somehow it magically cuts off around that point, and no one follows it further. That's it. That's all we're getting. Okay. Now, I thought this was interesting. People pointed out that the NASA Baphomet photo of the Earth, because they put out a photo, then people cut it in half and flipped it and put the double sides together. If you do that with money, currency around the world, you'll see the same thing. Where you'll see Baphomet goats, you'll see demonic beings, owl. It's very, very strange. But tell me what you see. And different people are seeing different things. And they said, if the truth of that image that NASA put out, this is what the Earth would actually look like with all the chemtrails and things. So people are just posting different things. So I thought this was interesting. You could see, I mean, you can see this a lot of ways. There's like a head there with some things, looks like wings. You could see, or you can interpret this as like a nose, a mouth, the eyes. Some people see it here, but you tell me what you may or may not see in this. And then I thought this was funny. If you look at all the old like pictures and videos from NASA, this is what they'll look at this. She's using a soldering iron that is hot, burning hot to the skin with bare gloves. I mean, with bare hands, no gloves, no protection, no soldering protection, just a little light eye here. And then she's just touching the hot point on the soldering knife, on the soldering tool. Like, how is anyone still believing any of this mess? Now, let me play this. Okay. Because this is funny.
So it's 2026 and we still can't fathom the fact that bubbles don't really act like this in space, yet we're supposed to believe that all of this is real. Well, I thought now would be a perfect time to remind you guys that NASA is actually being taken to court, and it's an ongoing court case of all of their fakery and deception and wasting of taxpayers' money. Check this out.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Today I'd like to bring to your attention a potential fraud on an enormous scale happening in your county. There's now clear evidence of NASA using numerous methods to grossly mislead the public about astronauts being on the International Space Station. During interior ISS scenes from NASA's own live feed, the use of wires, harnesses, green screens, and virtual reality have been detected to achieve the appearance of a weightless environment. Examples of this include astronauts fading in and out of the screen, green screen glitches, grabbing objects that aren't really there, pulling on invisible wires, getting tangled in their harnesses, and even astronauts appearing out of thin air. This begs the obvious question. If they're really up there, why are they using Hollywood techniques to fake the footage? Now, unfortunately, I can't show you these clips in here today, but I will be sending them to you. Outside the International Space Station, during spacewalks, air bubbles have been recorded on numerous occasions. How is it possible for air bubbles to be present in the vacuum of space? I once questioned astronaut Scott Kelly about this phenomenon. His body language and answers only created more questions. In 2013, astronaut Luca Parmitano nearly drowned during a spacewalk when his helmet filled with water. This happened again just last year. Air bubbles, helmets filling with water, and drowning. Are they in space or are they underwater? Now, what's really interesting is that they train for spacewalks in an underwater pool with a complete ISS replica. Now, surely they aren't filming these spacewalks in an underwater pool and then editing them to appear if they're in space, because that sure would be something, wouldn't it? I'm calling on the Brevard County Commissioners to open a full investigation into NASA's fraudulent practices and use of taxpayer dollars. It costs NASA $3 billion per year to operate the ISS, and if they don't have a darn good explanation as to why they're faking these videos, I and the public would like a darn good explanation as to where our tax money is going. And if they are indeed faking the funk, it is our duty to expose and eliminate this fraudulent and astronomically wasteful ISS program. And look, I know what you're all thinking. The NASA is part of the federal government, and you're just county commissioners. Even if what I'm saying is true, what can you do? But let me remind you, not only is this happening in your county, as public officials, you have the platform and the ability to make a statement or hold a press conference, alerting the public, state, and federal.
Okay, does anyone think that they will do anything about it? So I did not know about this, so I did a little digging. Well, I asked Rock, and this is what he said. So I asked if there was an update on this, and he says, yes, there have been some developments related to Justin Robert. That's who was speaking. Also referred to as Justin Harvey in some reports, the activist in the video from April 4th, 2023. So, which is wild. So exactly 3 years. The public comment session, Robert accused NASA. Okay, we saw that. It says later developments. Robert continued speaking at commission meetings. In May of 2024, he was removed from a meeting by deputies after making claims about the 1986 Challenger astronauts, alleging some were still alive, tying into broader conspiracy narratives. Maybe we'll play those videos where these people look like a match, and some have the exact same name. He then filed a federal lawsuit against Brevard County in August of 2024, arguing that his removal violated his First Amendment free speech rights and constituted viewpoint discrimination since he had been allowed to speak on NASA topics the previous year without interruption. As of the latest available reports from mid-2024 onward, the lawsuit was recently filed, but there are no public updates on a resolution, settlement, or court ruling. No evidence emerged of any formal county or NASA investigation into the fraud claims he raised. Of course. Why would the county commission? They make a lot of money off of this, guys. What is the government going to do? Investigate itself? Cut off the fraud of itself? We've seen that. That's a no-win, guys. They don't care. They absolutely don't care. And the sooner you wake up to that reality and you put that in perspective, understand if they don't care about this, if they would lie about this, what else? What else have we been lied to about our entire lives? So did we though? Did we really land on the moon, guys? You know, this is my merch store, realmelanieking.com. This is one of the ways that you can support the work I have going on over here. But this is unique merch you're not going to find anywhere else. And I think this is such a good conspiracy theory shirt because it's not like outright saying things, but it just, you know, it's like putting it out there without, you know, the crazies, the people who refuse to accept reality, you know, attacking you. But it is a conversation starter. So I thought I would show you this, have things for men, for women, different colorways. I have a conspiracy collection, a Christian collection, all of it at realmelanieking.com. There's also a way for you to donate to the work that I'm doing here through my website, as well as the links below. An easy way also to support is just become a member. It's a couple bucks a month. Helps us keep going, fight back against the censorship, and talk about the topics that they don't really like. They get uncomfortable with, but I'm going to continue to do it. So again, the links to everything will be below in the description box. And with that, I will see you guys very shortly.